Dave Chappelle has been getting some flack for standing up for Palestinian civilians who have been attacked by the Israeli Defense Force ever since the government Hamas decided to attack Israeli civilians. Now, of course, we stand with Israeli civilians. We condemn the heinous actions of Hamas. They acting like a super terrorist group. There's no love for Hamas, the actions. They've held up elections. The people of Gaza have not been able to have elections since 2006. These clearly radical, evil people. But I think what the world is forgetting is that the people of Gaza, 50% of them, which are children, they have not elected Hamas since 2006. They've not been allowed to have elections. So you cannot put what Hamas actions are on the people of Gaza. And if anything, the Israeli people have treated them like second-class citizens and have been committing apartheid and war crimes for over 50 years. So when Dave Chappelle stood up for the Palestinian people, the civilians, and just said that you cannot bomb civilians, he was met with backlash from the crowd, and they told Dave Chappelle to shut the F up, to make Dave Chappelle say, no, you shut the F up. You're not going to tell me, come to my show where you listen, where you paid to watch me speak, tell me shut the F up. And Israel should not be allowed to get our tax dollars to bomb civilians and essentially cause a genocide. Now, again, I know this is a touchy situation and there's a lot of nuances to this conversation. And like I keep saying, I do not want Israeli civilians to suffer. But I cannot in good conscience pretend like the Israeli government is not making Palestinian civilians suffer, and at a worse rate. We all, and everybody who had common sense collectively, we gasped in horror when Hamas attacked Israeli civilians and came down in parachutes shooting at people, just having a good time, as we should, because that was wrong. But we cannot allow Israeli people to then go ahead, or not the civilians, but the Israeli government to go and turn around and say, since you guys did that, we're going to be as monstrous as possible and be even more barbaric with our actions. I mean, right now, Hamas, they don't have any electricity. Food access is down. I mean, the water pipes have been shut off. These are human beings. They're bombing this place down. I mean, you have to acknowledge what's going on and be serious. Nobody is saying that Israel can't defend itself, but you cannot attack innocent civilians. Again, 50% of Gaza are children or minors, because of the living conditions they go through are so bad that people don't age. And one of the reasons is because the Israeli government bombs them. They have Israeli terrorists or whatever it is, coming in, trying to kill them, take over their homeland. I mean, it is bad out there for those people. So that's one of the things you have to actually acknowledge and recognize. But anybody who says anything, whether it's Dave Chappelle, whether it's people in the corporate media, or whoever, if you say anything that's not 100% pro-Israel, just killing these civilians, then you're called anti-Semitic, and that's just not true. You can support Israel. I support Israel. I support their right to defend themselves. I support the civilians. I support all of that. But also recognize that Palestinians are human beings too, and we have to recognize them and respect them, and we cannot allow a genocide to happen and allow a government, especially a government that us as me as a U.S. taxpayer, other people as U.S. taxpayers, we fund the money that goes to them. We have to check this stuff. We have to stop this stuff. We are the biggest superpower in the whole world. We cannot allow people to commit genocide on humans, and we have to tell people, especially our allies, when they're doing something wrong, we have to check them. You cannot commit apartheid and war crimes against civilians. If you want to go ahead in guns blazing trying to find Hamas and get your special forces and go into the city and find them, that's fine. But when you just dropping bombs that's hitting, residents' homes and hospitals and businesses where civilians are, you are in the wrong. And it should not be controversial to say that. That should be one of the easiest things to say. We cannot allow the Israel government to treat civilians this terribly. We have to learn from the past. We have to learn from stuff like Iraq. This is what we did in Iraq. We villainized the people so bad and make them seem like monsters that we were fine with destroying them, destroying their civilization, destroying their world. And all that did was lead to multiple years of wasted time where we end up coming back with nothing, because as soon as we got out of war, the terrorists took back over. Look, I understand the Israeli people, and I want that to be stressed out. We know how bad that what Hamas did. We know that there were innocent people. We understand you have loved ones that are trapped, that are still being held hostage, and we are for you. But you cannot treat a people so bad for almost 60 years and think that nothing is going to happen. And at some point you have to look to your government and say, you have to stop treating these people like this, so they can stop hating us, so we can potentially move forward with peace. And so I stand with Dave Chappelle. I understand what he was saying, and he's right. He's not wrong. Hamas is evil, but the Israeli government's response is not good either. These are all human beings, and we have to remember that. And the moment we forget that, then we forget our own humanity. But let me know what you think. Are you somebody who's like support Israel 100% no matter what? Or are you somebody who recognizes the nuances and knows, hey, Hamas is evil, but the Palestinian people are still human beings at the same time? Let me know.
It's the Wackcast Podcast. Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.
Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack
It's
to me.
the Wackcast Podcast. Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.
Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.